Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, August 22nd. Impact-wise, starting on the left, we do have a little bit of wind to deal with up in the higher terrain of eastern Idaho. Again, tomorrow, breezy conditions in areas that have had recent lightning. There'll be lightning pushing up from the south on Saturday. And again, the drier it will be, the further north you go, and that moisture pushes northwards. We have a mix of dry and maybe a mix of wet and dry lightning, more wetter in the far south, but there will be dry strikes and new starts on the northern periphery of this moisture. Now we see by Monday, lightning overspreads much of the area. Now it's not going to be raining or lightning won't be occurring everywhere, but it'll be pretty widespread. The northern and western peripheries will be the driest, so we do have a concern for new starts at this time. If we look at the past 24 hours, lightning, we had a few strikes yesterday down in southern Utah and a handful in the Uinta Basin, but really nothing else going on. Any precipitation was fairly light. Initial attack was light yesterday, new fires in the red, but lots of existing fires in the yellow and the open circles, both on the red and yellow, designate ongoing large fires. Over the past 14 days, it has been pretty dry on the left. That first shade of blue is just basically a few hundredths of an inch of precipitation. Past 14 days, you see most areas well below normal. And looking at our current ERCs, the areas in purple are 97th percentile or higher, basically record level ERCs. The dark red circles are 90th to 96th percentile. You can see how dry we are in our normally more moistened areas of southern Utah and the Arizona Strip, and also starting to dry out very rapidly up here in parts of Idaho, where we see lots of areas in the 80th to 90th percentile, and also in western Wyoming. The edge has been taken off a little bit in the Sierra front with some clouds, higher humidities, and occasional lightning with some rain, but still fairly dry just about all areas. 100-hour fuels, that area in the red indicates 5% or lower, which is very dry. Other areas are on the gold, which still indicates mid to upper level single digits on the 100-hour fuels. Now, satellite imagery, we're under a big high pressure ridge. It's the Four Corners. There is a bit of monsoonal moisture starting to push in. Its deepest isn't down in southern Arizona, but there's moisture pushing up northwards here. You see these enhanced clouds. We'll have to monitor this moisture as it coincides with the daytime heating. We are getting a lot of smoke production from our nearby fire, especially in California, and you can see for this afternoon where the highest concentrations of smoke will be as it wraps around the high in that clockwise flow. A lot of it pushing into Idaho, northwest Nevada, and even parts of Utah as well, especially the northern half. It's not going to impact aviation. For today, there's a high pressure area. There's that moisture starting to come up from the Arizona Strip into parts of southern Nevada and Utah. We do have high risk for some of those southern areas. A little tricky in the far south. In the Arizona Strip, it could be on the wetter side. But further north, Dixie National Forest, towards Pioche and southern Nevada, we'll have to watch out for the possibility of some lightning and new starts. Otherwise, quite dry just about everywhere. For today, you can see on the left-hand side those little pin drop areas indicating where we could see some of that lightning, a little bit more concentrated here in the Arizona Strip. Winds overall fairly light. Strongest will be up here in eastern Idaho. Not quite high risk, but pretty widespread 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts this afternoon will be combined with fairly low humidity. Now for tomorrow, we show the high risk of lightning being further north, going up towards Ely, central Utah, and up the spine of the higher terrain mountains of Utah going northwards. That is in response to some of this mid-level moisture and instability that you see here in the green on the left-hand side, also pushing northwards. There'll be lightning and showers in the southern part, but probably wetter with higher humidity down south. On the left-hand side, you can see that moisture pushing on up further northwards, and maybe even some heavier downpours over the Uintas. We'll have to wait and see. But in this belt of the higher terrain, we'll see the potential for some lightning. Winds overall fairly light, except brief, strong outflow boundaries where he sees purple areas. That's where thunderstorms could cause some locally gusty outflow winds. Now, on Monday on the right-hand side, you see the high risk now for lightning across northern Nevada, northern Utah, and pushing up into southwest Idaho. Reason for it, there's several areas of moisture pushing up, trapped under this high pressure area here into Nevada, into southern Idaho, another batch here in Utah. Kind of hard to focus on any one area, but a lot of it's going to be focused by terrain. So have to monitor that. On the left-hand side, you can see the precipitation pattern, and these streaky patterns you see through here is a classic dry lightning signature where the thunderstorms are moving at a pretty good clip. So I have to watch that. Otherwise, just about any areas here could see lightning, and there could be some heavier downpours on the southern periphery of this as well as over the Sierra front. Again, winds overall fairly light, except in the vicinity of thunderstorm outflow boundaries. 3-day precipitation totals, wettest will be in the south where we could see a low-end wetting rain amounts, otherwise just a few hundredths of an inch. Further down the road, as we go into Tuesday, you can see high risk continues for parts of our area. A little bit of a donut hole here across the Snake River Plain. A lot of this is going to be focused by terrain, so you'll need some mountainous terrain to actually trigger some of this, but there's some moisture trapped here we'll have to watch. And then as we go into Wednesday, you see the high pressure, it's starting to diminish a bit. There's a weak trough coming in. We're getting into gradually towards the end of the week, a pattern change. The high pressure is still in control on Thursday. We're still dry in most areas except for the extreme south. And then on Friday, some moisture coming up. Again, we'll have to watch for the possibility of lightning. No high risk yet because we're still quite a bit a ways, and we'll have to watch and see if we get any cooling from this low pressure dropping down from the north. 7-day precipitation totals, again, heaviest across the spine of the Utah mountains and further south. And the 8 to 14 day shows an interesting pattern of a couplet of much cooler than normal conditions in the northern Rockies, much warmer than normal in the south, but an overall drier than normal signal. The wetness stays in the northern Rockies, so what this signifies is low pressure areas coming on through, causing windier than normal conditions across parts of Idaho and perhaps northern Nevada, northern Utah, and western Wyoming, but the precipitation stays to our north, so we could see some breezy days coming up late August into early September. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.